Welcome to my book review on the fourth book in the Ranger's Apprentice series. So, it's right here. Let's just hop right into it. So, this book is the Ranger's Apprentice Battle for Scandia. So, basically, it's a Power Ranger's Apprentice. The Rangers are a group of just secretive, information gatherers for the king in these books. They're great archers. They have camouflage hoods that allow them to blend into the surroundings, kind of thing. So they're known as sorcerers because they can basically disappear. Very cool. But yeah, so the main character is Will. Now Will was an orphan at Castle Redmount during it because he was orphaned during a war. All he knew originally about his parents was his mom died in childbirth, his dad was a soldier. That's it. Yeah. So they went through a few books. The Ruins of Goldoth, I think. The Burning Bridge, which is kind of self-explanatory, and then the Icebound Land, which was his trip to Scandia. And there are a few other characters. There's Halt, his mentor, who teaches him all. He's a very famous ranger, very old grizzled beard. His hair's so bad today. There's his best friend Horace, who is actually a knight. He's very chivalrous. He always obeys the rules of chivalry, and doesn't get the Rangers because they do things really differently to the warriors. Next off was the fact... I'm just gonna hold this up now. Anyway, next off was Evelyn. Sorry, I forgot her name for a second. Jeez. And she is, yeah, so she actually has traveled with Will since the Burning Bridge, and basically she was taken captive with him, and she's one of his good friends. Yep. Now the main plotline of this is that the Scandian army, which is basically, Vikings, as you can see this guy right here, so they had taken them captive at one point, and they got away thanks to Eric, which is now one of their friends. And they're actually being invaded by the Temujai, which are archer cavalry, which are very feared from the Eastern Plains, so that's the main conflict in the book. Now throughout this, so after a little while of getting away and meeting up with Holt and Horace again, Evelyn and Will, they're all traveling together, and they decide to help the Scandians fight off the Temujai, which is kind of an interesting pairing since the Erlands, which is their country, the Scandians are all just savage raiders kind of thing. But it's quite an interesting combination because Holt keeps giving them new ideas, and they seem to be very good at these new plans. So now the reason I wanted this book was because I read the last few in the series, and this was a long time ago. But I had read the last few books. I found them very good. They were interesting. Here they are on the back, just so that's 1, 2, 3. But yeah, I really wanted to just read the fourth one, because during the book speed dating we did, believe it or not, every time that I saw a book that looked good, I decided if I can't find anything else, I'll come back to it. People kept picking it up, and I realize now that was a stupid strategy, but so this was my fallback plan. Yeah, sorry about that. So that's the basic premises of the book. The main plot line is they have to fight them off. Characters, yeah. I highly recommend you do pick up this, you do read these series of books, however. They're very interesting, they're very complex in certain parts, and they're honestly really well written to the point you really do think you're just everything you can tell is just from the point of view of this teenager who's being taught by this very monosyllabic teacher. It's very interesting. The parts with Horace in it are very, and the relationship with Will and Horace is very complex. How they used to be enemies, but now they're kind of good. They're really good friends. And it's quite interesting just to see all the characters interact with one another. I started reading the 5th book, and they added in even more complex characters. I don't want to spoil too much anything, but Will gets a dog, and that dog is trained very well. That's the basics of what I'm going to tell you about the next book, but still, I do recommend you pick this up. However, they are quite long. They're quite long reads in some cases, like 279 pages. So I guess if you read Harry Potter books, that's not very long for you. It's like, oh, I can read a Harry Potter book in a day. That's not long at all. Well, aren't you just showing off? So, thank you for watching my book vlog, and goodbye.